This video is to show my lab test of October 2023, where pitch canker disease was diagnosed again at Torrey Pines, and to explain why that diagnosis is important. Pitch canker is a serious disease that has killed thousands of pine trees. It's caused by the fungus Fusarium circinatum. Torrey Pines Reserve is located just north of San Diego, California. This is the tree I had tested at the red dot. Zooming in, it's along Guy Fleming Trail. This is a photo of the tree, and this is the branch tip I sent to the lab. And this is the lab analysis. The first lab determined Fusarium was present, and then sent it to a second lab to do the gene sequencing, which determined the circinatum part. Just pause the video if you want to read them. These are a few photos from the lab. In addition, 2 other trees tested positive for pitch canker disease a couple years ago. I sent those lab tests to authorities, but never included them in the video, so I'm including them here. Here are those trees. One is near the south boundary of the reserve, and the other is in Torrey Pines Golf Course parking lot. And this is that report from the lab. And zooming in on the important part. As stated earlier, pitch canker is a disease caused by a fungus. It thrives in moist locations. You'll notice that most of the Torrey pines that have died are on slopes that face the ocean or are adjacent to irrigated areas such as the golf course. The fungus causes infections that can encircle branches, cutting off water and leaving bare branch ends. The easiest way to identify it is to look for the bare branch ends, usually about 1 or 2 feet long, such as on this tree. These are a couple good sources on the internet with pictures and better description. Just Google them if interested. Pitch canker disease was first discovered in California in 1986 and thought to have come from the southeastern United States. It has caused much damage throughout California, especially Monterey pines on the Monterey Peninsula and Bishop pines at Point Reyes National Seashore. This distribution map shows it infecting trees along the coast. Pine trees infected with pitch canker are often attacked by engraver beetles. This arborist points out how pitch canker can create a gap between the bark and the trunk. It's an ideal place for beetles to invade.
But this one's kind of interesting. The trunk canker was lower on this, and you can see that the bark is separating and there's a lot of pitch oozing between the cambium and the bark, and there's a separation and there's a drying, but you can see all this is dead tissue all the way around. This tree wasn't totally dead. There's a little bit of life here, maybe a little bit of life there, a little bit over here, but for all intents and purposes it was gone.
My guess is that many of the trees in the area are infected and are trying to fight it off. Here are a few that seem obvious. This lab analysis is important because it builds upon a prior lab test and the actual tree symptoms to contradict the official story that beetles invaded because of drought. The official story is probably political, and authorities don't want people looking into anything else. The more truthful explanation is that beetles invaded because of pitch canker disease. So the question becomes, what could be weakening our trees so they are less able to fight off pitch canker? One possibility could be aluminum toxicity. A few years ago, I submitted a petition with 2,000 signatures asking to test for aluminum. At Torrey Pines, aluminum would come primarily from chemtrails, as naturally occurring aluminum in the soil cannot be absorbed into trees. This connection to chemtrails is undoubtedly a major reason why authorities will never do any testing. Chemtrails not only harm plants, but they also harm birds, bees, entire ecosystems, and everything else.
Same old thing we always hear, lies to fill the pockets of the rich. no respect for culture, the animals, the environment, our future, or just the air we breathe. Yeah, well, our own eyes, we've seen this with our own eyes. For years we did, centuries we did, that's why we know